think when I grew up, there weren't a lot of grocery stores. Mike Dibb's father had a grocery store on Cotton, and we would walk down from my grandmother's to pick things up. There were some Chinese grocery stores, I remember. There was all the produce on Alameda, the Sing, Pete Sing and all of them. The famous Lopez that had a carniceria on Alameda, who were friends of my dad's because he sold them equipment. We would pick up meat there. So you would go maybe to a butcher and then Alameda Street for produce. You wouldn't just go to a grocery store. Although we had the food marts and Piggly Wigglies that started. Not a lot of farmers markets. We would go to Juarez all day long to go to the mercado for produce. And then we'd end up washing the car and eating. So Juarez used to be a fluid coming and going. It was part of El Paso. And the mercado was too, so we bought a lot of fresh produce there. Now you've got the huge box stores, you know, big box stores they call them, I think. But not a lot of wonderful little jewels to go buy, special items. I miss the tienditas. Charlie Mansour on Brown Street. You know, he had the Moon Grocery, it was called. And we would walk down there. In fact, my tia Jeannie, my aunt, would still go there to buy a loaf of bread just because she liked him and the little store. Then there was a little store on Cotton between Rio Grande and Montana. And Mr. Magaña owned and ran it. We used to walk into there. I can smell the wood floor with the produce. I wish we had more of that instead of having to go to Costco, big stores, Albertsons. But I think I miss that and the daily purchasing of food. You know, where you'd go buy what you were going to make that day instead of stock up. Every day we'd go to the grocery store. I remember taking Mema on double stamp day on Wednesday to buy whatever she was going to cook that day. But they didn't stock up. They went and bought for the day, which was very common back in that time. We loved panaderias, and the National Bakery with the Lebanese community is where my grandmother went after Mass to buy. And not that long ago, I took my daughter on Good Friday. She was in the 8th grade at Loretto. And we did the Stations of the Cross, and I said, I'm going to take you to the National Bakery. Well, there were about 4 old guys and 1 very handsome young guy. And the old men told Amanda, we want to see you dance. She happened to be a dancer. And she looked at me like, are you serious? And they said, yes, that's how we pick wives in Lebanon. So she did a little dance for him. We bought some fruit, some of our bread, and left. Gussie's is famous. Gussie's was not there in the old days, but I'll stop by for pan dulce at Gussie's and bring it home for nostalgia. Laberintos, roscas, orejas. The names are wonderful of all the different sweetbreads. So I go there to think of having coffee at Mema's. And what else is around that's a panaderia? Oh, there used to be Sharp's Bakery on Tularosa that made French bread. And I would go with my Mema and we would pinch on 1 loaf and take 1 loaf home. But now, panaderias aren't that common. They're hard to find if they're authentic. Bowie Bakery, of course. Yeah.